Check this out. I have got to get me one of these. Welcome to Hoovie's Garage, the dumbest automotive channel in all of YouTube, and this is my 2004 Maybach 62, fresh back home in my garage after a totally epic cross-country journey, starting with being shipped out to Burbank, California to film with Jay Leno's Garage, which if you missed that video, please check it out on his YouTube channel. It was so much fun to do that, be back in his garage. Even recently after his burn accident, this was before the motorcycle accident, he was still in great form, and we had an amazing time with him driving and looking at my Maybach while I rode in the back and heckled him. It was just so amazingly cool, and you don't want to miss that video. But then I hit the road. I drove this thing to Scottsdale, did some work out there, and then drove it all the way back to Kansas, stopping in Texas to sleep in the back for a few hours, the back of the Bach in a truck stop, probably the only person in the world to do that, and got it back to Kansas. Not without any issues though, unfortunately. I mean, it is a 20-year-old car that cost almost $500,000 new, and there is a lot going on, so I came back with a few warning messages. But one of them we are going to get taken care of today at the Mercedes dealer because this Maybach is still under warranty. This car has a complicated electronic braking system, and it has two of these SBC brake pumps that Mercedes abandoned a few years after this car was built. Because it has these dual caliper brakes, two calipers per wheel to really get this thing to stop, so they wanted two pumps, and one of them apparently is acting up. Now, the car wizard and his right-hand mechanic, Magic Mike, who was a Mercedes dealer technician for many years, they were confident they could fix this thing for me, but Magic Mike was also confident that this thing still had a mythical warranty on the SBC braking system, and he was absolutely right. For 25 years, this thing has a warranty, not on the pads and rotors, obviously, and the wear items, but on the braking system itself. It still has a warranty for several more years, which means all of this is getting fixed for free at the Mercedes dealer. All I have to do is drop it off, and since I'm coming, they're willing to give me a totally epic loaner, an all-new GLS 600 Maybach, which is the modern equivalent to this. Now, of course, Maybach was on its own platform forever with this car. It was based really on the 140 chassis, but still its own platform, not shared with the S-Class. These were horrendously expensive when new and didn't sell all that well, but Mercedes decided to give it another try and make it a little more affordable by using existing platforms. So you have the current S-Class Maybach and the GLS, the full-size SUV, where they take the Maybach name and go all out inside of these existing cars, and I do think they do a really good job, but I've never experienced one personally, so I am very, very excited. But since I haven't experienced it in person, I don't know, maybe I'll be a little bit of a snob and think, oh, this is superior because it is an actual bespoke Maybach rather than a badge engineered thing, but either way, I'm very excited to try it out and very excited to get the Maybach fixed. So let's go. Well, there it is. It may not be its own platform anymore, but it is very much a Maybach. It certainly has that presence. The GLS 600 Maybach with the two-tone paint, which I think looks fantastic. The wheels, absolutely gorgeous. Maybach badges everywhere, and the sticker, $192,000, which not that long ago these things were selling for $100 plus over sticker along with the G-Wagons. Now I think they're just a bit over sticker is what they're bringing, which a lot of car for the money considering how much a Bentayga is new, how much a Rolls-Royce Cullinan is new. You get a lot of car, and I think this is certainly the coolest. One of my favorite parts is they brought back the hood badge for an SUV. I don't think Mercedes has ever had a hood badge on an SUV. This is it, but it's not the Maybach one like my car. It's a Mercedes crest, but still Maybach there. Look at the grille and all the chrome. Just absolutely stunning with the two-tone paint. But the wildest part, I think, on the outside are these running boards, which are ginormous, absolutely huge. We'll go inside here in a little bit, but let's go in the back, see if it has Does it have the champagne fridge? It does. Look at that. Instead of rear cargo area, you need to have your own refrigerator, of course, for your champagne. Here's all the extra stuff, too. So it is optioned out the wazoo as well. $18,500 for the two-tone paint. Only $1,100 to have a refrigerator in there like the Maybach 62, but still half the price of, say, what the Maybach was when it was new. Sharing the platform certainly helps with the money, and of course that's why the Maybach was such a big failure, because it was so much more expensive than an S-Class. People paying $500,000 for one versus $100,000 for an S-Class. It made absolutely no sense. But in this case, well, you kind of have a value here, I think. But these cars, just like the Maybach 62, aren't really meant to drive. They're meant to be driven in. So I'm going to start in the back after I start it up. Oh. I'm tall enough to where I don't need it, but let's use this redonkulous running board here, and we're in. Very, very nice. I mean, instead of the electrochromatic roof, you have a big sunroof. But the seats, like the Maybach 62, are reclining. Let's see. I think. There it goes. Ridiculous. It goes back about as far as the Maybach, too. Certainly not as much room in the back as the 62, obviously with a partition, and I can fully extend my legs with that car. It reclines really far, but still, this is extremely spacious. And let's see this refrigerator. Oh, yeah, there's the champagne flutes. There it is. Yeah, they only shaped it for champagne bottles because why would you put anything else in there? Oh, that's absolutely hilarious. Oh, the wood treatment back here, too. Wow. Nobody would ever see that, and yet it's there. It's just gorgeous. Maybach logos everywhere. Tablet mount here, which I think works a massage system that is absolutely nuts in the seat, not just one button like my old Maybach. I've got to get me one of these, but let's see how it drives. It still does feel like a big giant battleship, but look, the hood crest just barely poking out there. The hood ornament. Of course, one big screen here. Great infotainment system with Mercedes. The Maybach has it as well, but let's see the power. Very, very good. I believe this thing has the exact same horsepower as my Maybach 62. 550 horsepower, 4-liter V8 twin turbo. Same V8 they're using in all their AMGs right now, but a little less power than, say, a GLS 63 AMG. This is tuned more for comfort, and man, can you feel it. This is about the nicest thing I've driven in a very long time. Get on the highway here, trying to think of downsides, what makes this thing worse than the Maybach 62 other than it being on a GLS platform, and I can't think of much. The only thing I can think of is the seats in the Maybach 62 are more comfortable. The leather feels a lot softer and more premium, but that just goes with the territory nowadays with newer cars. They're making the leather a little bit more tough and durable in that sense and getting rid of the softness, but still overall the quality on this thing, just unbelievable. Just look at that really cool and massive heads-up display. I'm not sure if the GoPro can get it, but man, that's neat. The presence of this thing, it's just unreal. And I kind of poo-pooed these things a little bit for being rebadged GLSs, same with the new Maybachs being rebadged S-Classes, but they look the part, they feel the part, and they're a small fraction of the money. Obviously, a big success for Mercedes as well because they have no difficulty selling these things. Oh geez, I found another huge advantage, the cup holder situation. So much better than the Maybach. They can actually fit big cups, and I think it just goes away very easily. I like the natural wood in this one. I've seen the one where Doug DeMuro reviewed it with the piano wood. I think this is a better spec. And then the two-tone, having two gray and silver, a lot more subtle, but still very striking. Gorgeous. I don't want to give this thing back. I mean, they were nice enough to loan this thing to me for a little bit to drive around, but I can't use it for the entire time they're fixing the Maybach 62, unfortunately, because somebody's going to want to buy this and have the mileage be low. So I have to take it back, but there is one more thing that I absolutely must must do before I hand back the keys. You know. So this is a pretty famous party trick with the GLS that's also in the Maybach, where it can bounce itself out of a sand dune or something, bounce the air suspension to help you get out of trouble, but nobody does that. They just do it to show off like a lowrider. All right, for those wondering how to do this, it is door closed, in drive, in off-road mode, and then it finally pops up as being available. Recovery mode. Okay. There we go. Geez, it really bounces. Okay. I have got to get me one of these. I mean, I would just do this all the time. I mean, this seems like a great time to thank Mercedes-Benz of Wichita and the Walzer Group for fixing my Maybach 62 for free and letting me experience this thing. Look at their wonderful inventory here. Okay. Okay. All right, things are starting to get jostled here. That's amazing. Oh, nothing feels better than being home after a very, very spicy but free Maybach repair. So, as Magic Mike predicted, it was indeed the pressure reservoir on one of the SBC pumps, but it didn't prompt them to replace the entire unit. They just replaced that reservoir. So this would have been an over $1,000 repair, but it was all completely free, including a brake bleed, fresh brake fluid, everything, no charge at all. How wonderful. Now, the tech did note that he was smelling some oil, and it was probably leaking some oil from the engine. And my garage floor, which does have a lot of dribbles from where this Maybach was sitting, has determined that that mechanic is certainly telling the truth. It is leaking oil, so there is more to fix from this epic road trip, but that's not free. They want to diagnose that. They want to charge their money. They also said that my tires were looking kind of worn, especially in the back, and I have no idea why. But those are problems for another day. For now, I'm just going to enjoy the free repairs on my Maybach. And, well, I need to do some cleaning because it looks like one of the kids spilt milk in the seats. Kind of disgusting. Anyway, thank you so much for watching.